Hi, I'm Pratham and welcome to the SHL Numerical Reasoning Interactive video. A bit of background about myself. To be honest, I'm just like all of you. I've applied for thousands of jobs and done so many of these SHL tests that when I graduated from college, I decided to sit down and analyze hundreds of these questions. And by analyzing them, I understood the trends and patterns that are existing in all of these different tests. And I turned that into a startup called Forge. Forge is the platform where you can practice all of these tests in the most accurate way and the most accessible way on the market. Today I'm going to be talking about the SHL Interactive test. If you don't know what SHL is, it's one of the biggest psychometric assessment platforms in the world. Its precognitive tests are used to screen out applicants in almost over 50% of all the Fortune 500 companies in the world. What that means is that if you applied for a job recently, chances are you have an SHL email sitting in your inbox. And that email and that test could very well mean make or break to getting an interview at your dream company, because they use these tests to screen out applicants before even looking at a resume. So these tests are important. Make sure you watch this video to get to know how to ace the SHL test in 2026. Now back to the test at hand. Remember, this video is for the SHL Interactive test, not the SHL Numerical Reasoning MCQ test. There's a difference between the two. The MCQ test is slightly older, but some people may still get it in their email. So make sure you check before you watch this video. I will be making a separate video for the MCQ test. So remember, this video is for the interactive test. The interactive test is really daunting, and a lot of you get really scared by it, because not only do you have to be accurate, but you have to be fast too. So this is the 2026 end-to-end simulation of what the test looks like, where I'll walk you through all the tips and tricks you need to ace that test. Best of all, I will be providing you with a free of cost PDF template to systematically answer the questions in the test. I will also be using that PDF to answer the calculations today and walk you through step-by-step calculations. Meaning, all you have to do is download the PDF, print it out, and you can answer the questions the same way I do to make sure you're applying those tips and tricks in the actual test itself. Alright, let's start with question 1. For the first format, we have table classification. If you've got the Forge template open, this is page 1. 4 reps, 1 rule, a simple met or not met for each. And this rule's got 2 parts, joined by an and. Every month has to clear 14,000 and the quarter has to hit 45,000. Here's the thing about and. Both parts have to be true. If even one fails, the whole row fails. So the fast way through is to check the cheapest disqualifier first. Don't add 3 months and then check the floor. Scan for any single month under 14 first. Now let's go row by row. For rep A, we have all 3 months being clear of 14 and the total is 47.5. So they both pass. It's met. For rep B, we have the month looking fine, but the total only adds up to 44.8 and it's under 45, so it's not met. Now for rep C, we have something that catches people off guard. The total is healthy at 46.5, but if you look at February, it's 13.5. This is under the floor, and that one cell sinks the entire row, so it's not met. Now rep D is simple, it's all clear, so it's met. And now when we go back to the question, it's very easy to see that it's met, not met, not met, and met. Now for question 2, it's a drag ranking question. This is the most SHL question there is. So if you're looking at the template, this is template 2. You're given relationships, not numbers. So you have to build every value before you rank anyone. And before you drag a thing, make sure you check the direction. This one's going from lowest all the way to highest. So if you get the direction wrong, you score 0, even if you get every number right. So step 1 is the anchor, the one real number. Ben laid 120. Now Kara, 60% more than Ben. Now that does not mean 60% off Ben. That make her smaller. It's the original 100% plus 60. So it's multiplied by 1.6. 120 times 1.6 is 192. Now they fall like dominoes. Diana's half of Kara at 96. Femi's Kara plus 40, 232. And Ethan is a quarter of Femi plus 10. So it's fraction first, PEMDAS, BODMAS, whatever you grew up with. It's simple order of operations. A quarter of 232 is 58. You add 10, you get 68. Now step 3, the remainder is last. Anna is the rest of the team. 1040 minus everyone else, 332. Now all you do is sort it out. Ethan, Diana, Ben, Kara, Femi, and Anna. Simple. So remember, don't rank what you see, rank what you can derive. Now coming on to the pie chart question. So this is a pretty easy question, but this is a third data format. So if you've been looking at the Forge template, again, this is logically template 3. So there's 4 boxes and the last one is always a free mark. Why it's a free mark is because the shares always have to land on exactly 100. Well, the good news is this one gives you an anchor and you always have to look for the anchor. The anchor is a number that's already been given to you. In this case, it's b is equals to 14. So you plug the anchor in, work outward, and you work one relationship at a time. So if b is the anchor at 14 and a is 1.5 times b, a quick trick for calculating this is just 1.5 is equals to adding half. So if b is the anchor and it's 14 and a is 1.5 times b, we have a very simple formula there to just multiply 14 times 1.5. A quick trick here is if you're multiplying by 1.5, just add half. So if it's 14 times 1.5, that's just 14 plus 14 divided by 2, which is 7. So it's 14 plus 7, which gives you 21. Now C is simply 14 plus 11, you get 25. And the fourth one is free. You never have to solve it directly because the pie chart UI will automatically adjust for this answer and give you the right answer, assuming you've done everything else correctly. However, do remember, there's no scoring tolerance. Set the exact value and don't eyeball the slider. Now for the drag ranking questions. These are a bit harder. Question 4, it's the same 3-step approach as question 2, but with a longer chain. It's a mixed operation question. So this is where people who rush question 2 start losing marks. So let's build it out slowly here. It's still lowest to highest, so don't make any mistakes on that. Priya is the anchor at 1,200 pounds. Omar is 75% more than Priya, plus 300. 75% more is 1.51. 75% more is times 1.75. 1,200 times 1.75 is 2,100. And then you add the flat 300, which gives you 2,400. Tasha's Priya plus Omar is 3,600. Leo, a third of Tasha, plus 50, 1,250. Now Mia is half of Omar plus 150, you get 1,350. Ravi is Mia plus Leo, 2,600. Now all you have to do is sort it from lowest to highest. Now for question 5, it's a line graph question. So I love this question type. I think it's very symbolic of the SHL tests. So this is a new format, line graphs. So in template 4, you can see the formula box first. It's 1 row per point. It's a sequential rule. Start at 42 and add 4 each month. And if the value strictly exceeds 50, subtract 7. Now the whole question hinges on the word strictly. Remember to be like a lawyer when looking at this stuff. So in month 1, it's 42. In month 2, 46. Month 3, 50. Now, is 50 strictly more than 50? No. A number can never exceed itself. So it stays. Month 4 is 54, and that is over 50. So 54 minus 7 is 47. Month 5 is 51, still over 50. So it's 51 minus 7, which gives us 44. So remember, at least includes the number, exceeds does not. Mix them up and the whole question flips. So now we're on question 6. This is a medium level question. So it's about insurance costs over 2 years. So it's stacked bars and it's template 5 on the format. This is the format people fear most. So let's make it really boring and really simple so you completely understand it. The question is, year 1's insurance bill is 2,400 pounds, of which 600 is deductible. In year 2, the entire bill goes up 25%, but the premium part goes up 40%. So you have to set both the bars. One idea first, and everything else is easy. Every bar is just 2 pieces, a premium and a deductible. And there's only one trick in the whole question. The total goes up 25%, the premium goes up 40%, and the deductible doesn't get a rate at all. The deductible is whatever's left over once the premium is set. 2 different growth rates on 2 different things, and that's the trap, nothing more. So let's build it. Year 1, the bill is 2,400 and the deductible is 600. So the premium, the other piece, is 2,400 minus 600, which is 1,800. And the deductible as a share is 600 out of 2,400. That's a quarter, 25%. Now year 2, watch which number grows. First, the total. The whole bill goes up 25%. 2,400 times 1.25 is 3,000. Now the trap. The 40% rise is on the premium only, not the bill, the premium. So take last year's premium, 1,800 times 1.4, that's 2,520. And the deductible, it's what's left over, 3,000 minus 2,520, and you get 480. And as a share of the new total, 480 out of 3,000 is about 16%. Do you see what happened? The deductible shrank as a percentage even though the bill got bigger. That's because the premium ate more of the bar. That's the entire question. Now for question 7, we're moving back to line graphs. But this one you derive from the data, not from a rule. Each transaction is USD going in and foreign currency coming out. The rate is always foreign divided by USD, output over input, always that way around. Write the formula once in words before any numbers. So GBP is 36 over 45, Euros is 243 over 270, CAD is 100 over 80, AUD is 66 over 60. Now for a sanity check, CAD is the only one above 1. If you make a mistake and you flip the division, every point would be long. Moving on now to question 8. So it's a pie chart again, but this time there's no anchor. So there's only ratios. So if there's no number to grab, what do? We name the unknown. So if we let equipment equals to X, everything here is a multiple of X. So it's 4X, X, 3X, and 2X. If you add them all up, you get 10X. Now if you do some equalities, because the pie chart has to sum to 100, we get an equation of 10X is equals to 100. Using some simple algebra, we know that X is then equals to 10. If we plug it back in, personnel 40, equipment 10, facilities 30, and miscellaneous 20. This is the same as question 3. Log 3, and the fourth is always just a leftover answer. You can just set the sliders and you've solved the question. Moving on now to question 9. So this is the hardest question in the set. Stacked bar chart again, but now you work backwards. There's 2 traps, one on top of the other, and I'll take it really slowly for you. So the setup is 220 sales staff get the full bonus, and we're told that that's 80% of the team. Consulting got a total of 64% of sales, and inside consulting, partial to full is 1:3. So trap 1, we know apart 220 people, and we know that it's 80% of the whole group, but we want the entire group. 220 is most of the team, so the whole team has to be bigger than 220. Bigger means you divide, not multiply. 220 divided by 0.8 is 275, and 275 is bigger than 220, so we know it's right. If you multiplied it, you'd get 176, which is smaller. And the partial group is just the rest, 275 minus 220, and that's 20%. Consulting's total sales is 64%. Now 275 times 0.64 is 176. So now trap 2, the ratio. Partial to full is 1:3. That does not mean partial is a third. 1:3 means for every one partial, there are 3 full. So split the bars into 1 plus 3 is 4 equal parts. Partial is one of those 4, a quarter, not a third. 176 divided by 4 is 44, and that's 25%. Full is the other 3 parts, 132, that's 75%. Both traps push you in the wrong way on purpose. One wants you to multiply, and one wants you to say a third. Know a part, want the whole, and divide. Splitting a ratio, count the parts first. Now for the last question. It's classification again, but it's tiered. The fast approach for this is really simple. Test the top tier first and then fall back. 10% needs a total greater than or equals to 48,000 and every month on target. 5% just needs a total of greater than or equals to 42,000 on a no month condition. If you look at row A, the total is exactly 48 and all the months pass, so it's at 10%. At B, the total is 44, so 10% is immediately out, but it clears 42. For row B, the total is 44, which is under 48, so 10% is out, but it still clears 42, so it's 5%. Now for row C, the total is 41, which is under 42. Now for row D, the total is 51, all months pass, you're getting 10% again. Now all you have to do is assign the numbers and you get the correct answer. So that's the entire numerical reasoning interactive test. Just 10 questions, 5 data formats, and the Forge tips to help you through them. Now, if you want to practice these tests, like I've mentioned, you can practice them all at forgeprep.io. I've also included a list of tips in the description below, so you can go and check them out and for a last-minute revision before your actual test. I wish you all the best, and like I said, if you found this video helpful, please do like the video. It does a lot for the channel as of starting the series, and subscribe if you want to stay tuned for all the future episodes for all the other different test formats. Thank you.